Hey there, in this video I'm going to give you 5 tips that will help you nail your interview that you didn't think of. The first tip that I want to go over is probably one that you think is normal, but dress the part. And when I say dress the part, I don't just mean throw on a suit and tie and show up. I mean show up dressed on the level of your employer or maybe even their boss. You don't want to show up as an interviewee. You want to show up as a person who's a potential partner to them, somebody who's a consultant to them, somebody who can solve their problems. And when you show up and you bring the energy, and it's not just the clothes you wear, but when you bring the energy, when you dress the part, when you act the part, you have a lot better chance of grabbing their attention because you don't want to just look like everybody else and show up wearing the suit and tie. You want to come in, you want to bring that energy, and you want to stand out. So the second tip that I want to give is when you come in, you need to make yourself seen as a consultant to them, as a problem solver to them. And how are you going to do that? You're going to flip the script on them. They're coming in, they're interviewing you, or you walk into their office, you get the interview. But when you show up, you start asking them questions. Hey, what kind of problems does your office have? Is it a management thing? Is it sales? Is it inventory? Is it staffing? What issues do you have so that I know better how I can help you out? What are my skill sets that I can use to help out your problem? I first need to know, hey, what kind of problems are you having so we know where to start? And that leads right into the third one is the silence. Silence is strength. So just sit there and let them answer that because those 2 tips alone get you much further. You're not coming in and you're not saying, hey, tell me the questions and I'll answer your questions. You're coming in with your own questions saying, hey, let's get this thing started. You tell me what the problems are and I'll figure out how to fix them. That's my job. You're hiring me to do it. That's what we're going to do. You open up, let them speak. And with their the silence, they have to stop and think about it. So they're going to open up to you more as a consultant to their problem. And they start seeing you as, hey, this is the person that can solve my problems. I need to let them know what's going on so they can solve it. You start bringing the energy to the room, you dress the part, you act the part. You're putting yourself on a level up here instead of the interviewee. You're not coming in trying to get a job. You're coming in to solve their problem. If they don't hire you, hey, that's on them. But you bring the skill set. They've got to open up and tell you. So I guarantee most people do not do something like that. So the fourth part, and I guess this is probably something people talk about, but maybe not as much. But do your research on their company, but not just their company. Do your research on their competitors. So while you're talking to them, I'm just going to use Walmart and Amazon, for example. If you were interviewing at a Walmart, we know that Amazon's their big competitor. So if I go in and I say, what are the issues that you're having in this department? What issues can I help you with? What are my skill sets? I need to know what problems you have so I can tell you how I can fix them. Give them silence and say, okay, well, I noticed that from your company, this is your standpoints on it, and this is what you guys have been working toward. Now, I know your competition's Amazon. I know you're competing against them in the online market. What kind of skill sets may I bring? Maybe that's your problem. So if that's your skill sets that you bring to the table, say, look, your problem is with the digital market. You're trying to compete against Amazon. I've got some ideas that I can do with that because what they're doing is X and what you're doing is Y. How do we beat the curve? What's the obstacle here and what's the best way forward? When you do that, you're putting yourself up as an authority figure. And the last one, this one is powerful. When you get to the point and they say, okay, do you have any questions for us? Not that you haven't already been asking questions, but they usually end with, do you have any questions for us? Your question that to them or your response to them should be, if you hired me and 1 year from now you knew you made the right decision, you were confident that you made the right decision, what would I have had to have done in the last year in order for you to feel that way? So it makes them start thinking, first off, hey, we've already hired him. He's been with us for a year. He's been successful. And then they start thinking, what does success look like? they're telling you, so they tell you exactly what you need to do when you get in the role. And I guarantee other people do not go back with that question, and they will remember you. So I hope these tips helped, and I would love it if you guys liked, subscribed, shared, commented, anything that I can do to help you. I'm always happy to. Have a great day, guys.